Yes, nation building, cultural integration, and cooperations amongst ethnic groups in the nation or state is very, very key to development and progress of that nation or state. But when suspicion and tribal sentiments is expressed amongst one another, what happens is retrogression of that nation and state. No tribe is perfect, and no person is perfect. Everyone must have had faults, but ability to address our internal problems matter. Not falling it, creating tribal bigotry or hate everywhere in social media and all that will lead to one, crisis, war, and problem of such enclaves. I'm directing this video to Nnamdi Kanu, who has bent on promoting hate, segregation amongst the tribes of Nigeria because of his quest for sovereignty of Biafra. Nigeria state was fused together by foreign invader, the British Empire. Some of these states were empire states before British invaded Nigeria and fused them as one nation. Yes. Well, I would like to enlighten Nnamdi Kanu based on his utterances and actions. I believe is informed, is not well informed about the genesis of the problem we have today in Nigeria. Unless one allows openness, allow free mind, investigate what actually took place, what led to civil war in Nigeria. The first indigenous leader of Nigeria was Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was Governor General of Nigeria, the first Governor General of Nigeria. Yes, among Committee of Nations, Nigeria, Australia, and other colonies of Britain. Some of them were about being given independence. And prior to that independence, Nnamdi Azikiwe was made Governor General of Nigeria. A lot of people at the moment may not know what Governor General meant as it were then. Governor General was head of government, head of state, and chief of armed forces. That is the same power of executive president. The only difference was that Nnamdi Azikiwe was answerable to Queen Elizabeth as he was governor, indigenous governor general of the Federation of Nigeria. Well, election took place. Let me just go into what happened after election. Election took place. Electoral officers were elected. Nnamdi Azikiwe now became president of Nigeria. And Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa became prime minister. The position of prime minister then was that the prime minister was head of government and the number one citizen of Nigeria. While the position of Nnamdi Azikiwe was that he was chief of the armed forces. Yes, who was from the eastern part region of Nigeria. That is the Igbo extraction of the eastern region of Nigeria. Then the Senate president was an Igbo man. And chief of the army, who was Aguiyi Ironsi, was an Igbo man. Prior to these elections and after the elections, Awo advocated for true federalism, that power should be decentralized. More power should be given to region, because Nigeria had two regions as we were then. But Nnamdi Azikiwe disagreed. He said one Nigeria. Amadi Bello, who was the premier of Northern region, also agreed with Awo ideology. Because Nnamdi disagreed, such didn't hold. And as you know, the head of parliament, the Senate president, was an Igbo man. And Igbo had 40-something members in government. They dominated everywhere else fair. The North had 14 members in government, whereas the West had 8 members in government. That was how it was. The Igbo exodus from their native enclave to all parts, to all states or regions of Nigeria was massive. They were trading mainly outside their native land. Although their native land, the land square of their native land, was very small as compared to the vast population of Igbo. And as such, trading in other states as one Nigeria actually amplified their success in trading, and most of them became very rich because they trade outside their land, and the people of the land that gave them residence buy their goods. And that is one of the key that led to the progress of people. They were in the north, they were in the west, they were in the east, because we had 2 regions. Yes. So they mainly depended on the larger part of Nigeria for their success. So when coup struck, the coup was influenced and financed by Aguiyi Ironsi. So that most of the Igbo leaders that were ruling Nigeria were spared. None was killed. But the entire 40 federal northern leaders were slaughtered. Emmanuel Ifajuna Ifejuna killed Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, who was the Prime Minister of Nigeria and the head of government of Nigeria. He was killed in Lagos, while Ahmadu Bello, who was head of Northern Region, was also killed by Major Kaduna Eziogu. Eziogu was recruited by an Eastern Igbo person who was co-classmate to participate in that coup. Killing of Ahmadu Bello did not overthrow the government. What actually overthrew the government was the killing of the Prime Minister. Yes. Ahmadu Bello's position was lacking to a governor because the entire north was a region and it was headed by Ahmadu Bello. But the president, who was chief of the armed forces, in the person of Nnamdi Azikiwe, was thief, left the country, and was killed. So the northern leaders felt that the coup was directed at them and organized by the Igbos. They felt there was no fairness. If Aguiyi Ironsi was fair in his coup plot, I do not think all leaders, all the person that was heading government's portfolio will have been brought to book. But the entire Igbo cabal that was heading government were left. These are known facts. Did not organize a coup to overthrow Aguiyi Ironsi. Meanwhile, Aguiyi Ironsi removed that clause of referendum and refused to accept true federalism. The advice of Awolowo was that its regions should have its own military. But he claimed that military should be central and all the regions should be contributing. The central government should be contributory to the region. He brought in unitary system. The problem we have today was brought by Aguiyi Ironsi and Nnamdi Azikiwe refusal for true federalism because it canvassed one Nigeria. My take to all this, or my assumption, was why Aguiyi Ironsi and Nnamdi Azikiwe disagree with complete or true federalism was that because Igbo native enclave, Eastern enclave of Igbo was very small. Very small as compared to their population. And as such, as Nigeria became a unified nation, a unified state, trading in all parts of Nigeria. Because if you are Nigeria, you can claim anywhere. Trading in all parts of Nigeria was necessary for the progress of an Igbo. That is my own perception. I could be wrong. But that idea wasn't so very wrong. Yes. But not allow through not decentralizing the central government was wrong, because power was concentrated at the center. Aguiyi Ironsi becoming the other state, removed referendums and fused power and consolidated power at the center. And all this were done by the Igbos. These are known facts. They were very prosperous aside Igbo land. Did not come to the area to start developing. Yes, this was right. But however, if Aguiyi Ironsi has ruled with fairness, not segregation. Another mistake of the Igbos was you come to a place that is not traditionally yours. You will now try to create your own kingdoms. You will now say, King of Igbos or Inurumi. What it means that you are now having two kings in a place that is not yours. You say Ezigbo. When you come to a Rome, you behave as a Roman. You don't bring your own traditions to it. This was another mistake. This was the complaint of so many tribes in Nigeria. They felt that the emigrant Igbos leaving their states to other parts of Nigeria was that Igbos want to take over all parts of Nigeria. But apart from that, if they had opportunity to rule, there was no fairness that was showed, especially the coup that took place. It's an eye-opener. It was an evidence that that coup actually celebrated Igbo and leave all other tribes in Nigeria suspended. When the North had opportunity and overthrew Aguiyi Ironsi, then before that, Odumegwu Ojukwu was the military leader in Kano. He was heading the military division in Kano. Aguiyi Ironsi now made Odumegwu Ojukwu, Emeka Ojukwu, who was heading the military division in Kano, was made an head of the Eastern region. Yes. So, as the North struck and overthrew Aguiyi Ironsi, another fact that happened was that there was massive killings of Igbos in the North. Because I like speaking fast. When we estray or diagnose the genesis of what led to Biafra War, then we will know that we need to seek for reconciliation, cooperation, and peaceful coexistence. That is what I preach. There was killing of Igbos in the North, which was of which did not call it a payback to Igbos that killed their people in government. And as such, the Northerners and some other tribes in Nigeria felt Igbos were selfish and they had domineering tendencies. But before the British colonization, Igbos were confined within their enclaves because they were not an empire state, because they never had a maximum king. They had quests for expansions. Their land, they couldn't expand their land. Yes. You see, I'm saying this thing to bring to fall to Nnamdi Kanu awareness so that he will be aware about what actually took place. Igbo had opportunity, but they misplaced it. Imagine having 44 members, ministers, cabinet. The Igbo man was head of Senate, was the president. President was chief of the armed forces. It was just that Tafawa Balewa was head of government. Yes. But all other positions were held by Igbos. They had opportunity to progress because of lack of understanding of governance or not taking into cognizance the interest, acknowledging traditions of other enclaves, of other tribes. Just like the way Nnamdi Kanu insult the Oba of Benin, a reverend king. He had no respect. A little boy, Nnamdi Kanu, dancing. You see, let me be focused on what I'm saying. Nnamdi Kanu should not make people to hate Igbos. We love Igbos. And no matter his negative propaganda on social media and other medias, we still love Igbo. And it was proven last year. Everybody voted massively for Peter Obi. There's an evidence. Rumor even had it that Peter Obi won the election, even though he's not the president today. Understanding the political dynamics of Nigeria matters a lot. I believe Peter Obi will be president if he have understood the political dynamics. He's someone dependent on legal proceedings because he won his election through legal means during his gubernatorial election. But he now failed to realize that his opponent also, who was governor then in Lagos, also won his legal pursuit in Lagos. Yes. You see, Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't bring segregation between tribes. Don't make the mistake of 60s. Yes. When Ojukwu was now agitating for sovereignty in the Biafra region, they went to a Aburi meeting in Ghana. It was just 2 days meeting. That meeting will be likened to a kind of conference, constitutional conference. It wasn't a law. Yes, it was agreed upon. Gowon agreed to give a kind of sovereignty, not full sovereignty, in the sense that a kind of a federal system, a system in which British is operating, or more wider system like that, of which we will have government of Scotland, government of Northern Ireland, and government of England. Yes, but there will be central military. That was what was agreed upon. Not the way Nnamdi Kanu is campaigning now. Nnamdi Kanu is even including calling the Anoman of the Midwestern region or the Anoman of the current Delta states part of Igbos. Then it's wrong. If you call it part of Igbo, why was Onitsha Bridge blown up and the Asaba people were massacred during the Civil War? You call them part of yours? The Anoma has been historically part of Benin Kingdom. Yes, this is evidence. in their traditional uh, conducts. Because the Anoma region, including Onitsha, which is now included in the east by the British, we are all part of Benin Empire. And all Benin Empire had kings. The core Eastern Igbo do not have kings, its chiefdom do not have kingdoms. And all the kings must be acknowledged by Oba. When they are being coronated, Oba of Benin, they must send emissary to the Oba to acknowledge it. Because of the negative propaganda in social media, you see some few natives of Anioma trying to claim that they belong to the East. It shall never be so. Ask your kings. The king of Abo, Iseluku, Asaba, all the kings in Anioma, yes, before they are coronated. Their tradition is completely Benin traditions. These are evidences. It's just like as Britain colonized Nigeria, democracy we practice is British. Our type of education is British. Even our constitution, we don't have traditional constitution. It's the British type of constitution. So that is evidences that the Britain colonized us. Yes. So now, when Gowon came out of the meeting and realized he disagreed, war ensued. Ojukwu decided to stage the war. He said, why did Gowon disagree? And he failed to realize that it wasn't passed by law. It was just a decision made. But to me, Gowon should have just agreed. But be it as it were then, Ojukwu staged a war. The funniest thing is that you stage a war. In the midst of the war, you're a warlord, you claim you're a warlord, you run away. Then why did you put all the people of eastern regions, of so many tribes, into problem? When you knew you were going to run away, a true soldier, a true warlord don't run away, will decide to die in war. Because what he professes is military. Yes. I am a trained medical scientist, and I uphold the principles of medical science. That is what I was inducted upon my graduation. You can't be a military and you run away. That means you're a coward. They haven't plumbed your people into war. So many tribes in the east, the Igbos, the Ijaws, the Efik, the Ibibios, some Igala and other minor tribes that were in the old defunct Eastern region were plunged into war. But today, Nnamdi Kanu is seeking for actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra. He's not carrying other tribes along. His campaign is that he's just claiming Biafra is just Igbo alone. How will it be achieved? When Genevieve Yev of the then Soviet Union organized a coup against Gorbachev, and along the line, disintegration of the Soviet Union took place. Russia, because disintegration of the Soviet Union took place, which led to so many sovereign states of Soviet Union, which is then today's Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, Uzbekistan, so many other, about 12 other enclaves, Georgia and all that. So Russia was not having the locus to continue the trial of Genevieve Yeneyev, the planned coup against the leader of the then Soviet Union, who was Gorbachev. What am I saying? You are agitating for Biafra, you are using the name Biafra, which was the defunct eastern region. And you are not carrying other tribes are in non-agreement with you, with your quest. Do you think you will succeed? It's a simple logic. Don't plumb your people into crisis. I have a lot of Igbo friends. Yes, I have an Igbo wife. That is why I am directly talking to Nnamdi Kanu. He must refrain and stop hateful speech. Don't plumb your people into war. Where some of his followers claim that they will use guerrilla fight. It's childish. You had opportunity to bring unity. There is, will I say, there is hope, there is good in a large enclave. Have you sat down to think the reason why Igbos trade in all parts of Nigeria? Based on Nigeria Constitution, anywhere, any person can claim any area. But when you now bring in issue of segregation, you are calling for war. And when your house is not well organized, your house is not well organized because you are only calling out some Igbos to support your agenda. Even Igbo leaders are not being carried along. To talk of other tribes, when you combine other tribes together, they will almost be the same population of Igbo in the defunct eastern region, or even a little above the population of Igbos in the defunct eastern region. So I'm advising Nnamdi Kanu to refrain. I don't know whether because in his enclave there is no king. I know today what they do, they organize people to be king and all that, but their traditional king before now, before colonization, that pattern just came up. Before colonization, there was no king, it was chiefdom. If there was king, I think the Igbo land, even the entire South won't have been enough based on the population. Yes. You see, what led to this is no fairness when Igbos were the leaders of Nigeria. Yes, there was segregation. And the first coup that took place was solely organized by Igbos. These are facts. And again, because the Northerners felt that it was an Igbo organized coup, they started killing Igbos, mainly in the north, as a payback. And that led to agitation by the late Odumegwu Ojukwu, who was the head of the defunct Eastern region, to call for sovereign state of Biafra. Yes, so we should not repeat what was or what took place. We should be thinking about nation building, togetherness. Every tribe has its own uniqueness. And Nnamdi Kanu should stop his timidity and his uncivilized conduct. He tried to include not into Igbo, the fake history that are not fast. Advising him because an individual is dancing on stage alone and others are just on the floor not dancing. He think he's the best dancer when people are clapping for him. When he's unchallenged. War is wisdom, not be boasting or force. Action without sense is useless. Power without wisdom is useless. And war is not merely fought by money, it's fought by strategy, intelligence. What Nigeria should ask for, the least thing Nigeria should ask for is war. We want peace, togetherness, and development. There's no way if Igbo pull their ass together, they will not become president of Nigeria. If Peter Obi could do it, any other Igbo man can do it. Nobody hates Igbos. As Nnamdi Kanu is canvassing, bringing tribal war, hate speech. He does not understand policies and dynamics of government. Everyone with his own interest. Where if he wants sovereignty of Biafra, he should tailor it properly. Biafra is not only for Igbos. There are so many tribes in the deformed Eastern region are claimed as Biafra. Yes. Thank you for listening.